so much and running, and it just really dawned on me. It's the man that my mom was underage when she consumed me. Anyone who'd have been older.
Embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, just can't take nobody not saying nothing.
Rymir Carter has come out with something truly shocking to say about how the Carters, and in particular Beyonce, have treated him. He has kept this secret for years, but now it seems the truth may be even stranger than anything we've ever covered before.
I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really just was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. She continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even until I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way.
Now, what's interesting is that after years of Rymir trying to get his attention through the media, Jay-Z finally seems to have responded after his alleged son filed a lawsuit against him. Jay-Z says he's been dealing with a man named Rymir Satterthwaite, who claims to be his secret son, for over a decade.
That's all I'm asking is, like, because I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot. And as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really, what is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me, and it's just like, I just got so much on my name right now. I never asked for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. Next is, I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. So many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they scared to go out and search for them, and sometimes it only take a little search. Go search, and if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this being a role model for them, showing you can go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as the other person. I've always been a person that I never hate anyone. I never, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. It was never that type thing. I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me, my mom, my godmom, we didn't seen the worst. We didn't have people, slander my name like you want Jay-Z money, and I hear it all. I'm going to fight until I'm not here no more, and it's never going to be against no one. Like, I'm going to continue to fight. It'll take another 10 years, maybe another 50. Maybe I'll take this to the grave with me, but everybody can say I fought this.
According to US Weekly, Jay-Z's legal team recently asked a federal court to dismiss Rymir's latest lawsuit, saying the claims are not new and have already been rejected many times. Back in 2022, Rymir was hit with a court order that stopped him from filing more lawsuits about this matter without getting special permission. Jay-Z's team says that's because he kept filing frivolous lawsuits, basically cases the court didn't see as serious or valid. But is that really the truth? We know Jay-Z is alleged to have had many affairs, so it also makes sense for him to have many unclaimed children out there. For example, one name we never really hear about is Carmen Bryan. Her affair and pregnancy with Jay-Z's child really went under the radar. She claims she terminated this pregnancy, but many people speculate she also kept Jay-Z's child, even though he didn't want anything to do with it.
So you're friends with Jay-Z, and then at one point it turns romantic.
After a year.
After
about a year and some change, as things change. Yeah.
And this was Jay-Z during which album? I mean, Reasonable Doubt was already out.
This was, Reasonable. I met Jay-Z right after he dropped Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
Reasonable Doubt was out like a minute because I remember like, oh, what's this? Who's this? Oh, I like this song. And then I met him through a friend at a party. And the next day, Nas and I got into like some big fight, and he pissed me off. And so I just thought, let me call Jay-Z. Went on him.
Okay. Now, Jay-Z's first single sampled Nas on the hook, Dead Presidents.
Yes.
So there's already this interesting connection between Jay-Z and Nas from the jump.
Right. But you know how I looked at that? I looked at, oh, that's the producer who sampled it. I didn't look at it. I didn't honestly see the correlation in the very beginning. Like, I didn't even think twice, like, oh, well, these two might.
Okay. But Jay-Z knew that you had a daughter with Nas.
Yes, he did. He was aware of that.
He was aware of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys are messing around. You and Nas are getting into problems, are having problems with your relationship.
Yes.
At what point does Takeover come out?
Takeover came out. I had already left Nas.
Okay.
I had already broken up with him. I shipped all of my things to LA. I moved. I packed Desi and I up. We were already out. So when that came about, Nas and I were not together. We were not in a relationship. We were still going back and forth like couples do who immediately break up. We were still seeing each other. It wasn't like the relationship was, completely null and void. That's difficult. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of time to get over someone you've been in a relationship with for a decade. So I'm not going to say we weren't still intimate and seeing each other, but we weren't living together and we were not in a relationship. Takeover came when Takeover actually is a product of Jay-Z just being emotional.
Jay-Z, who's now 55, said Rymir and his caretaker have been harassing him for years. He said that the claims in the new lawsuit have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts time and time again. Jay-Z also said he was dragged into court by Rymir, Rymir's late mother, and his caretaker based on the false assertion that Rymir is his biological son.
You would be the firstborn son. You and Sir have the same ears, same nose, but we don't see Sir.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's what
I was just trying to figure out how he got two daughters at a football game. Where's your son? You gotta understand that pisses people off. Like you have rights. Like
I don't understand. Like most people want to know, but I guess just like you say, he's so big and into their brand, and I'm not putting nothing on nobody. But I wouldn't know what he thinking. But I would know if this would be something I want to get out the way. I wouldn't want this to go on for no years.
His legal team pointed out that years ago, a court already ruled someone else was Rymir's father, and that person was ordered to pay child support. Jay-Z's lawyers added that back in 2010, a judge told Rymir's mother she couldn't wait so long to suddenly say Jay-Z was the father after already identifying someone else back in 1994. In this new filing, Jay-Z's lawyer said Rymir is trying to say all the past court rulings were wrong and that Jay-Z should now be found guilty of fraud and other claims. Jay-Z's team believes this new lawsuit is just a way to get around the 2022 court order that blocks Rymir from filing more cases without permission. This is where Beyonce comes in, because many people believe she does not want the truth about how she's treated Rymir and her own children to come out via an actual investigation.
Blue don't have Beyonce nothing. She's just light-skinned. I always thought it was kind of weird how she did resemble Jay-Z to a certain extent. But no, that girl is starting to look like Kathy to me. The eyes, the cheekbones, the jawline, the speltness of her thin figure, her shoulders. Like when she wore that dress with the Grammys, when he set Killer Mike up to be inconvenienced for winning. That white thing that she wore with those boots. The way she walked up. The way she sashayed, and it was off the shoulder, like Kathy used to wear off. May God have mercy on their souls if they took that woman's up to a child. And God have mercy on their souls if they done that. And for her. And it's my bloodline. It's that bloodline. On the front line.
We also know Beyonce seemingly has a history of eliminating her competition for Jay-Z. And according to Jaguar Wright, she did this in conjunction with a convicted criminal, Diddy.
No, last question. I asked you to do this earlier, but I just want you to do it even more, go detailed. What do you predict will happen next in the future? You know, it's like you see it before it happens.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled. And it's not a man. And that woman died screaming.
Anything else?
Yeah. Show him the tape, Diddy. You got it.
Oh, man.
That might buy you a little time. You should probably stop looking for plastic surgeons.
Man.
Looking for a new life, new face. We gonna hang you high, Jay-Z too. Beyonce too. And we gonna round up all the Cause see, I love a good gay man. I just can't stand him. And that's what it is.
With that being
You
said,
wanna know what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I'm about to up America.
Oh.
That's what's about to happen next.
Here we go.
No more filter. From this point forward, any word that I say, I ain't holding back. And I ain't saying alleged either. Y'all said I was lying the first time. Now it turns out I'm telling the truth. You still don't want to admit that I was right, but you don't want to admit that you was wrong. So really, then the diplomacy doesn't matter. Fuck you. I'm going to just keep ruining your lives with the truth.
And here we go.
You know who also died under mysterious circumstances a few years ago? Rymir's mother. That 2022 injunction came after Rymir's family sued one of Jay-Z's lawyers. It clearly said Rymir and his caretaker are not allowed to file any new lawsuits regarding the matter in the state of New Jersey without the court's approval. Jay-Z's team also mentioned that Rymir already tried twice to challenge the order and lost. Jay-Z's lawyers are asking the court to throw out the case and make Rymir pay their legal fees. When Us Weekly reached out to Rymir, he said, "This injunction order I am not aware of and have never been served." He also claimed that all the court orders in New Jersey are currently under appeal and said they were based on fraud to block our due process, which showed Jay-Z's wrongdoing of allegations of perjury. As for the claim that Rymir's mom named another man as his father, Rymir said his mom was a minor when she was pregnant, and he still believes Jay-Z is his real dad. This would not be the first time Jay-Z has been involved with a minor, with rumors of an affair with 15-year-old Foxy Brown being long-standing.
Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character.
US Weekly also reported that on May 6th, Rymir filed a brand new lawsuit saying Jay-Z is his biological father. He said his mother, Wanda Satterthwaite, had intimate relations with Jay-Z in the 1990s and claimed Jay-Z has always refused to take a DNA test. Rymir has filed several lawsuits in different states like New Jersey and Pennsylvania. In the latest one, he accuses Jay-Z and his legal team of committing fraud in several courtrooms and of trying to hide the truth about his paternity to prevent legal accountability. In this case, Rymir is asking for money to cover what he says are emotional and psychological damages. The case is still ongoing, but many don't expect him to survive this case. Jay-Z has a history of intimidating witnesses into dropping their cases.
That's actually exactly what Jay-Z's accuser is saying, that even though she dropped the lawsuit, she still stands by what she says, and she only dropped it because of harassment and the fact that she's terrified of Jay-Z. She says that Jay-Z is allegedly bullying her into saying that her accusations were false. In fact, in new legal documents, she is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. She claims they tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her art claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. Jane Doe also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, two allegations she says she denied. He says this alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports and legal proceedings. He also claims that her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and her R story. In the new documents, she reveals she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from Jay-Z and his supporters. He says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attacks.
Now, what makes this case particularly interesting is because it seems to follow Jay-Z's MO. He will have affairs, he will have children, and then try to bury them. If the affairs don't happen or reflect poorly on him, he will bury them. Case in point, what happened to Aaliyah? We know she met an untimely end, but was it really an accident?
It is time for Aaliyah Dana Houghton's death to be properly investigated. It's time for Fatima Robinson to speak up about what she heard on that phone. It's time for somebody to be honest about who gave Aaliyah the pills that knocked her out before she was carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on. It's time for the other dancers who knew she was terrified to get on that plane to speak up. And it's time for Hype Williams to be officially questioned about why he made her get on that plane and why they forced her to do it unconscious. It's time to talk hype. It's time for the public to ask you why Aaliyah couldn't get on Lenny Kravitz's plane and you had to put her on that clown car plane. And do yourself a favor before you make any statements. Please remember, I was fucking the dog shit out of little X, your apprentice. I know a lot more about you than you think I do.
But what now many people speculate is that Jay-Z actually pulled the trigger on her life and engineered a situation where he thought her death couldn't be traced back to him. All because she rejected him and chose Dame Dash.
Like that because she was like a tomboy. She was little to me. But then one time she was, I guess we had the same bookkeeper and I walked past and the thing about Aaliyah was like every time I saw her, she looked different. So she had different looks every time and I was like, who the fuck is that? And I realized it was Aaliyah and then I just threw my A game. And then, you know, I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well and I didn't know. And then like it got brought up and I was like, for y'all. But it never worked out for them and we were both like trying to get at her. I like kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah. Obviously,
everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She was like, you know, she'll go to dinner with a nigga, but she wasn't going to just be smashing. So that was like the big deal, like who could get with Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
We all put like.
Was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
The true reason of Rockefeller's breaking.
But everybody knows that shit. Like we were both. I
heard it, but I didn't.
Yeah, but they be trying to act like he was like really fucked. But nah, he was sending flowers and doing all this shit. Nigga, he was courting her. So we were both going hard. And we ended up in the same house, 4th of July. So for some reason, this day.
Wait a minute, you, Jay, and Aaliyah ended up in the same house?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it was like one day it might lean toward him and then it would lean toward me. But I was just on fire that week. Like I was just, everything I was saying was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and I remember coming downstairs, like, you know, it happened. He was like, said, you know, this is going to be hard for me. Because he was like, his friends were laughing at him and shit. So.
We also know that Beyonce, having already been cheated on once officially and knowing Jay-Z has that mean streak in him, refuses to work with Rihanna because Jay-Z allegedly even had inappropriate interactions with her at one point. Just look at this clip and tell me there isn't something going on.
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Pierce Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah. Like pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
A 15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up to the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and
this is her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was
Very
17
so.
Is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
Have
had
you
to
spoken
apologize.
to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person.
Jay-Z and Beyonce certainly have a lot of really bad allegations floating around them, but do you believe any of them are true? Let us know in the comments below.